Hey you guys, it's me Thomas, SpongeBob #1 fan 2003 here. And as you can see, I'm here with this super duper cool SpongeBob book. And yeah, this book is actually called Drive-Thru Duty, and it's actually really super duper cool. So as you can see on the front cover, there's SpongeBob, and he's like on a bunch of Krabby Patties, like he's on a big Krabby Patty right here. And yep, there's a bunch of patties and they end right there, which I think is really super cool. And yep, this book was actually made by Bendon, which I quite like that. And there's a bunch of like nice bubbles here in the background as well. And this book is called Drive-Thru Duty, as I mentioned before. And here's the spine, really fast here. It's like this nice purple spine here. And then here's the back. As you can see, there's a picture of SpongeBob with his spatula, and there's a Krabby Patty on it. And this book was actually made in 2018, which this book is actually a little bit more of like a newer book. So, yeah, and I quite like that. That's really cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and start looking at the pages that are in this book here. So as you can see right here is like this really cool like map of Bikini Bottom. Like you can see that right there is the Bikini Bottom sign. And Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob's houses. There's Sandy's tree dome, the Krusty Krab, and the Chum Bucket. And then Mrs. Puff's boarding school is right back there. Oh yeah, and there's Bargain Mart right there too. And a bunch of like other houses and stuff. And there's some like coral and seaweed and flowers as well here. And the exact same thing right here, obviously, except right here there's SpongeBob's hand and some like tape right here, and it says this book belongs to, and you can obviously write your name right here. I wrote my name right there already. So okay, and then there's SpongeBob with his spatula and Krusty Krab hat. And yep, there's Steven Hillenburg's signature right here as well. And yep, here's this little like thing right here of SpongeBob, and he's holding a bag that says the Krusty Krab on it, since this is a drive-through thing. Okay, so right here is Mr. Krabs, and he actually shows them the new drive-through that he put in. So there's like a little window right here, and it says drive-through. And there's SpongeBob and Squidward. And Mr. Krabs is giving Squidward a headset, you know, since he'll be taking the orders. And of course, SpongeBob is just the fry cook still here. Oh, and there's a small little goof here, actually. SpongeBob's collar here is red instead of white. Okay. So SpongeBob is making the Krabby Patties, and Squidward is taking the customers' orders and giving them the food. And yeah, Mr. Krabs has a bunch of money, and it's actually closing time. And of course, Mr. Krabs is kissing his dollar, and Mr. Krabs actually SpongeBob actually really wants to work at the window, like take the people's orders and stuff, and Squidward actually really wants him to do it. And yeah, SpongeBob is actually like kind of fascinated with the headset, but SpongeBob is just like the best fry cook. So Mr. Krabs won't allow SpongeBob to touch the headset, and SpongeBob is really super upset about that. So Mr. Krabs and Squidward are leaving, and SpongeBob is like sort of gonna clean up the Krusty Krab a little bit and then lock it up and stuff, as you can see. And then suddenly, while SpongeBob was mopping the floor, Patrick actually comes in, and SpongeBob actually tells Patrick about their new drive-thru. And then Patrick becomes fascinated with the headset, and SpongeBob tells him about it. And yeah, Patrick actually really wants like like, to know what the headset can do. So SpongeBob actually puts it on and he breaks his promise to Mr. Krabs. And he actually shouts, "Can I take your order?" into the headset. But there's actually a customer, and SpongeBob and Patrick are really super, like, horrified because, yeah, Mr. Krabs said that it's closing time. You know, it's closing time at the Krusty Krab. So, yep, so SpongeBob is going to be making the patties and stuff. And then a biker gang actually comes. So SpongeBob and Patrick are, like, really super busy now, but Patrick has been eating all the patties. I know everyone is, like, really super duper angry with SpongeBob and Patrick because they're not getting their Krabby Patties. And then Mr. Krabs notices all this and he's really super duper mad. So, yep, he's really super duper, like, sort of furious with the biker gang or whatever. And Mr. Krabs actually accepts SpongeBob's apology. Like, SpongeBob tells him that he's sorry about touching the headset when he wasn't supposed to. But, of course, Mr. Krabs is a nice boss, so he accepts his apology. I'm sorry. So, SpongeBob and Patrick are, like, hugging Mr. Krabs because they really appreciate his forgiveness or whatever, but Mr. Krabs looks kind of annoyed. So everyone is actually cleaning up the Krusty Krab here. And of course, SpongeBob had no trouble, and SpongeBob didn't have any trouble keeping his promise or whatever, so I guess, whatever. And, yep, as you can see, everyone's cleaning up the Krusty Krab. And it's actually the end of the book. So there's a picture of Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob's houses, like their actual houses in the show. And there's another map of Bikini Bottom here, as you've seen, like in the way beginning here, which I find kind of funny. And yeah, but it's actually pretty much all for this SpongeBob Drive-Thru Duty book. I'm really sorry that my explaining wasn't the best, but yeah, this is a really super duper, like, cool book. I actually really super duper like it. And yeah, the pages are actually really super duper nice and bright and colorful. And yeah, I actually really super duper like the book, and I cannot wait to read it later. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say here. So okay. So yep, I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the SpongeBob Drive-Thru Duty book, and let me know what your favorite part about this book was. So yep, I hope you guys like this book. So goodbye everybody, and have a great day, and peace out.